Vaccines.
I mean, it's always this is going to be.
Teaching everything is cool, but it's just like.
art designer.
When teachers are violin lessons, I have this guitar, it's like, she can't just like take the kid's violin and tune it up and hand it back. So, 10, 15 minutes. Turn the peg notes. It's that. Good.
Like I can't do this. Like I have to be able to play something so they can see it.
It's very weird. I've been doing podcasts, you know, for academic podcasts. It's not
Flowing, baby.
No, you keep going. It's amazing.
I'm sorry, that's not a chair.
Oh, now we know that's all we need to do.
Take that guy anywhere.
I know.
Somebody just bought a ticket. What the hell?
Well, you gotta buy.
I'm not like buying last minute tickets, man. Because I promised to like show my penis to them. That's the only
I promise free everything for everyone. Homeless people coming in.
Exactly.
It was crazy. It was a wild party. Everybody was sick.
So who's it? Yeah, after you play, motherfucker. I keep you honest, motherfucker.
Gentleman in the scarlet. Gentleman in the collar.
I'm a gentleman. Oh yeah, well you know we played with Rats though.
I played with trio with him.
I mean we had a concert with him recently. So great, no, we love Rats. It's Jerry. You know Mark, right?
Mark, thanks for all.
So, for gigs, like, to have some
This is a room. It's true, it is a room. It's a small room. There you go. You can't make everything empty in this night.
That's right. Okay, so maybe you need to
What have I got my job?
Yeah, I've never seen that.
do you have
Yeah, baby Bjorn. You carry me around on a baby Bjorn.
Oh gosh, I down.
On your back. Yeah. When we do the piece, you can have me on your back and I'll read. Obviously,
Are we allowed to share the live feed?
Yes.
Wait, just check.
So, yeah, the light will go.
I guess the young was and he quit. Because he didn't like reading. And anyway, so it's a fun hobby. And I enjoy it. Like the opportunity to play with stuff. I've been picking up the staircase and the coordinating, what's the other game, like whatever, you know. What's his name? You might want to check out those
get her grooves and
That's how queens are made! Yes, that's why queens are made. I wrote an email, but I didn't send it.
What he's getting.
Oh, there's programs right here.
Should be okay. Tasty toast. Yeah, no, it's not. Like heavy metal, like battle, with his cuisine.
I've been trying to get it. I've been doing it like that opera now. They close at 8 o'clock. They're open to me. Wednesday night.
Everything closes here. We're going to go to your place? Before Drew. They kick us out.
I think towards traffic towards irrelevant because my place is all kind of messy with art. I'll take another one.
No, I'll take another one. No, because I need it.
Well, they want everybody to kind of like spread out, man. They're like, they're adhering like to ridiculous. But can I keep the camera here? Yes. Okay.
Everybody needs to stop on the break.
What do you have? What? I hear you collaborating with Michelle Schulte.
She's great. I really like her. We really connected through that concert. Yeah. You're shopping for new Steinway? Well?
Yeah. How come?
Oh, okay.
Getting a 9-footer.
Really? I just got an interesting instrument. It's a hybrid piano, and it's a Kawai. It's got a wooden cabinet and a grand piano, wooden action, but digital sound. And normally I don't like digital sound for acoustic piano, but he says artificial intelligence, so all the harmonics are correct. And I love it because I can play 24 hours a day now.
Okay. Do you need headphones?
I don't even need the headphones. I can just play quietly enough. And I really like it. If you live in an apartment, it's perfect. Because I never like that feeling that I'm bothering people. Yeah. I'm like a little private world. It's quite wonderful.
I have my mind set on
I got my mindset on you.
you're eavesdropping.
I'm not, I have 3D hearing.
All the chairs on dance, Steinway Factory Queen. Remember that video? All the chairs were dancing.
I got my
You don't remember that?
I don't remember the video.
It's a great video. I'm looking for a waitress. What, yeah, girl, so wait, what number are you on the program today?
Where is the James comes?
I'm doing something with Jay Rodriguez, and then Jay's doing something with me.
Let's start. You going? Is the Tim order? Lady. Hat. Jack. That. I can do it on there. Hi, everybody. Hi. Welcome. Hello to the 11th annual Comp
Marathon.
Yeah, you give it a love. You give it a love.
We're coming to you live from Jerome, NYC. This is on 6th Street and Avenue Way. And this is a concert program, Composers Concordance. This is Gene Pritzker, myself, Dan Cooper. We're the co-directors of the series. And this is a...
Good one. Hello, everybody out there in the virtual world. We have an actual concert in an actual venue with an actual audience, which is weird. We're weird. That's weird. Don't tell Como.
Because of the pandemic, many of our regular season concerts were postponed last spring. And among these, we were planning a festival of events entitled Comp Lit. And the idea was to combine elements of music, contemporary music composition, literature. And so now we are presenting a wonderful program of, I think, 18 pieces.
There's 18, I think, on your program, and all of them, just like all our other marathons, are there's a 3-3-3-4 rule. So, four. What is it?
4-3-3-3.
4 minutes, 3 people tops on stage. The composer has to play his own piece, and no more than 3 wires, because sometimes people take like 10 minutes to plug in shit. And we don't want people plugging in shit. So
Not these days.
Not these days, yeah, but these days, I think most of it is like piano pieces. Also, just to point out, so we were looking for an image for this concert, and our good friend Marcus Tavi, who's part of the concert, he's here. He's also the chairman of the board of Concordance. He's a great artist. So we took one of his art pieces, which happens to be a piece commissioned, I think, by Robert Ford, who's one of the poets on the concert, and he bought this painting. Oh, wow. And we took a little sample of the painting, a little, not sample, what's the word?
A detail.
A detail, thank you, Mark. And put, made it into a poster. But the detail happens to have a little prince in there, prince and music and money and all the good stuff. Okay, so it's very complete as far as we can tell. Oh, I want a pizza. I named the poem.
You named the painting.
I mean the painting. What did I name it?
Ascending volumes.
Ascending volumes.
I feel like this is some kind of midterm exam going.
Please take notes because we will be grading. Welcome, hello. Who's that, Lara? Oh, what's that?
So as always, we want to thank all the amazing composers and performers for their time and talent devoted to this program. And we want to thank all of you for tuning in.
And we're gonna, so it's 18 pieces, 4 minutes each. We're gonna do quick setups, and I think it won't be so long. It'll be like 2, 4, 7 hours. It's gonna be great. So hang in there. If you want to go to sleep in Europe, don't. Finish the fucking concert. And you people here, please drink. Enjoy the drinks. They have very good drinks from Turkey.
Okay, and without further ado.
What's our first piece?
Yeah, so this is Gene Mcbride. We're going to welcome to the stage together with the amazing violinist Rolf Schulte is here.
Yeah, Rolf Schulte and Gene Mcbride.
Gene's piece, and you can talk about it for a minute.
Oh yeah, Gene, please tell us why your piece has anything to do with what is it again? Oh, complete. Here.
Hello.
Hello.
First, I'd like to say that thank you to Drum, because for them to do this and the little monetary reward they get for it is totally amazing. And the Composers Concordance, the board, the people that are connected with this group are just outstanding. Many thanks. I want to thank Joe Pearson. Rest in peace, Joe. He was a founding member of this group, and he was a good friend for many years. The other thing that I want to say about it is my piece. It's called Key Largo. Key, this is Victor Borger, with a question mark in the middle, because it's based on a short story that I made up about a student who goes to his teacher, who's a master, a real virtuoso, and he says, Master, I have to know what I can do to become a virtuoso like you are. I mean, what's the key to this? And the master says to him, well, largo. Largo being the slowest tempo, or one of the slowest tempos in music. Practice slow. You must practice slow. So it's all about being slow. And that's all I have to say. And now Ralph Schulte. Where are you?
He's behind
All right. Ralph Schulte, the piece is dedicated to him. He had many suggestions as we were working on this, and so I thought dedicating the piece to him wasn't important to them. I want to say to Linda, this performance is for you and for Joe. May he rest in peace.
like to invite to the stage the next composer performer. This is a fantastic, talented young guitarist, Charlie Raw. He's composed a piece, I think, based on the Bronte sisters, is that right? Okay, so maybe tell us a little bit about your piece and its connection to the literature, and you've got this fantastic new guitar here as well, yeah?
I do.
Are you a Collins artist, or?
Yeah.
All right, indeed, a little plug for the guitar company. Charlie Raw.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for being here. Thanks, Drom, for hosting this, and thank you, Gene, for the invite. This is really amazing. Grateful to be here and be part of this lineup with so many awesome composers. So yeah, as Dan was just saying, I'm gonna play one of the pieces off my new album that came out at the end of August called The Bluebell. It's a collection of miniature solo guitar lullabies inspired by Anne and Emily Bronte. So this one I'm going to perform is called The Weak Yet Longing to Believe, and it's inspired by Doubter's Prayer, which is one of Anne's poems. Thank you. Thank you very much.
That was pretty as shit is what I wanted to say. I'd like to invite on stage, David C. wrote a piece. And David C. is a singer who sang before with the Concordance choir and many things, and is also a really great composer. I really like his music. And David C. asked my friend Charles Coleman, who's also a singer-composer, who's going to be featured later as a composer, but here he's a singer. So David C., Charles Coleman, come on up. So David, if you want to talk about your piece, I think, is it based on your wife's poetry?
Well,
He's gonna tell you. I'm just making shit up.
the program has a mistake in it, and it's my fault, my oversight. Lynn did not write the poem. She inspired the poem, so she's my muse. The song expresses my admiration for my wife's forbearance in the face of life's slings and arrows, and but also expresses gratitude for our good fortune in other respects. Let me get my. How's it back on? Okay. We made an early retirement to Washington Heights over 6 years ago, moving from Tennessee. In fact, though, we kept working a good bit until the pandemic forced us to slow down. The lyrics reflect this situation before the pandemic, but the sentiments are still true today. I'd also like to say that I'm kind of grateful that this was delayed for so long, this program, because it afforded me the chance to get 7 more months of solid practice on the piano part, which I kind of need.
So it's kind of improvisatory, it's pretty intricate, and it's held together by the plotting beat and meter and by the even-tempered narration provided kindly by Charles. So the play is also kind of a quodlibet. You might recognize bits of Puccini, Gershwin, and especially one of Lynn's favorite Schumann pieces.
Came back to the center of the world, half a lifetime in the faraway mountains, dove into ceaseless carnivals of concerts, theater, and tennis. We made our nest of used coffee filters and ham and tash wrappings. Retired to days of long walks, nights of reading stories aloud. Years this might have gone on, but we have mad journeyman skills that enjoy the light of day. Slip a sawbuck in the jar. I will weave piano keys into a sublime tapestry from the vocal scores. Watch me roll boulders up slopes for sport, playing catch there, causing fouls, all while crooning a show tune. It is an odd sort of game, but it is sometimes wonderful, and the company is fine. While you, my love, fell to games of tag, never by choice, yet ever winning against the reaper chasing you with his terrible aim. Side beating earth, swing upon swing, game after game. Why does he play? What aim? Keep running, my love. I will stay at your arm. Let me up inside your heart. Eyes closed, ears open. Teach me to play as you make a perfect meal, as perfect Schumann. No bribes nor pretense, no orders to fill, only play.
Okay, next
like to welcome to the stage this incredible pianist and champion of new music and composer and educator, and I found out the other day you're a stamp collector as well.
Whoa.
This is Jeffrey Burleson, everyone. Jeffrey Burleson, and I believe why don't you come out and say, and your piece is inspired by, I believe, a poetry cycle from the last pandemic.
Well, inspired by the last pandemic, when all this madness started, I was inspired to try to look for art that was created during and about the last pandemic, or prior to this pandemic, anytime about the 1918-19 flu pandemic. And Ellen Bryant Voigt, an incredible poet, has a book-length collection of sonnets, a sonnet cycle called Kyrie, which she published in 1995. And that's what inspired this piece, and I want to read a stanza from it before I begin. How we survived. We locked the doors and let nobody in. Each night we sang, ate only bread and a bowl of buttermilk, boiled the drinking water from the well, clipped our hair to the scalp, slept in steam, rubbed our chests with camphor, backs with mustard, legs and thighs with fatback, and buried the rind. Since we had no lambs, I cut the cat's throat, X'd the door, and put the carcass out to draw the flies. I raised an upstairs window and watched them go, swollen, shiny, black, green-backed, green-eyed, fleeing the house, taking the sickness with them. Sweet are the songs of rye exacted praise, scraped from the grave, shaped in the torn throat, and sung at the helpful stranger on the train, and at the neighbor's misery brought near, and at the waters parted at our feet, and to the God who thought to keep us here.
Thank you, Jeff. All right, they're going to take a minute or two to set up for the next piece. This is by Gene Pritzker, together with an actual living poet. That's a running joke between Eric T. Johnson and myself. You're an actual poet. Amazing. And Gene is going to be performing on the electric guitar as well as what you call a sample strut. Is that correct?
Yes.
An orchestra of samples, so we'll be hearing about that in more detail as well. But Gene's first instrument was the violin, by the way.
What?
He started out on the violin, but I guess that didn't pan out, so.
Anybody?
I thought it was a Schneider volume.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
All right, Gene, here's Gene Pritzker, Eric T. Johnson. Give it up.
All right, I'll talk real quick. Yeah, this is mine. So I've been writing a lot of music on poetry by various people that I like, and one of them is Eric T. Johnson. And when the pandemic started, I wrote a whole album of the poems of his called Stray at Home Song Cycles, like 6 songs, which we're producing and release soon. But one of the first things I wrote, he sent me this poem called "The Dress in the Wind," and it was a cool poem, so I just released it as a single on Bandcamp. And we're gonna premiere it, like this first time we perform it. And part of it is I transcribed, he read it to me and recorded an audio file. And I transcribed that audio file and then put stuff around it. So the electronic part, I call it Saperstein, orchestra of samples, because everything, all my electronics are written out like in an orchestral score. And it's a transcription of his voice to pitches, his just reading, and then I put chords around it and all this stuff. And he memorized it, and we're going to play it together with him speaking through electronics and in real life. It's a whole mess of things.
Yeah. That's my spokesman, Gene Pritzker.
Something happens with my guitar, now it doesn't work. What do you want? Volume. You ready?
I'm ready.
Here we go.
The dress in the wind is an inch less than skin. Undress your eyes so that I might measure the distance between the breathing and the breathless. My face pressed within your tresses and skin. The lesson of this second to be learned at leisure. Oh, undress your eyes for me, so as not to censure the bliss of this instant. An undone scene, my mouth, your hand. The dress, skin, caught eyes, I measure. Less within tresses and skin. Lesson of this second to be learned. Eyes for me, as not. Bliss seems your hand. so that I might measure the distance between the breathing and the presence. My face rests within your tresses and skin. The lesson of a second to be learned at leisure. Oh, unrest your eyes for me, so as not to censor this blessing of this instant. And unseen my mouth, your hand.
Special technical difficulties version.
Eric D. Johnson, Justin McWin. Shit. Alright, I'm gonna stay up here. I don't know, my guitar cut out. It was so good in rehearsal. See, this was happening. I want to invite my friend Dave Taylor on the stage. Give it a motherfucker up! So Dave and I have been remotely recording a whole album, a duo album, bass, trombone, and electric guitar together. And one of the tunes is called, we haven't recorded this one yet.
We haven't practiced it yet.
But we're gonna perform it. It's called Houdini Serenade. Houdini! I like saying that. Dave, tell me about Houdini Serenade.
Well, just move the board over a little bit. Let me get my mic all set up. And I'm not going to say one word about it.
No, but it's a poem. Is it a poem?
Kind of.
This orange is on stage. Man, if anybody wants some oranges, Dave's got some.
I saw a sea of faces looking upward from the street, and a man who hung suspended from a rope that bound his feet. just a few more minutes, his arms were free. And then he threw out his hands in greeting, and they brought him down again. And in all that throng beholding, his agility, his skill, watched him dangling in the ether while their very hearts stood still. There were many there in straitjackets that I thought they'd like to cast, as Houdini did that moment. Yes, there were many there in straitjackets that I thought they'd like to cast, and they wanted to feel themselves free at And there were many there in straitjackets that I thought they'd like to cast. And they wanted to feel themselves free at last. They wanted to feel themselves free at last. be free from wicked terrors. And we want to be happy folk again. Dave Taylor! That's some out shit. I love it. I'm gonna hang up here because I think Daniel Schneider is next.
Oh shit, it's true. Dan Schneider, up in the house. He's got two short pieces, Bassoon Blues and Parkour. Now Daniel Schneider is a good friend of ours and a great sax player and composer. He and I have toured the world in various places with Absolute Ensemble. And, oh, I don't know, ask Daniel. The Bassoon Blues, because that's the only way the bassoon is can be listened to. The bass trombone. So Daniel, talk about your music in French-German.
German, okay. Obviously, Bassoon Blues was not written for bass trombone, it was written for bassoon. It's actually the principal bassoon player of the Tonhalle Orchestra back in Zurich, where I'm coming from originally, wanted to play jazz. So I wrote kind of a Eric Dolphy line for myself and the bassoon line for him. And the bassoon line now is played by Dave Taylor on the bass trombone. This is a world premiere in this combination. Obviously, it's not that easy for the bass trombone to play bassoon.
Why more than to my fallibilities first?
So the piece is dedicated to Eric Dolphy.
Are you going to be on mic? They hope so.
No? I mean, I don't know. What kind of mic? I don't know. Is this mic? Yeah. next one is an orchestral piece that I would use just for the two of us. It's called Parkour Musical. It was originally written for our friend Christian Järvi and the orchestra.
Daniel Schneider and David Taylor. Someone more around for them. Amazing, amazing. Thanks, folks. Okay, next up is a dear friend of ours, Faye Silverman, making her way to the stage. Going to perform one of her original compositions at the piano, and I believe this was inspired by Mark Twain. Is that right? Twain. I'll get the other stand. Don't worry. I'll get it.
The Mysterious Stranger, as you've been told, is based on a story by Mark Twain, who is one of my favorite authors. It is a story that he'd never finished in his lifetime, but they have since published it. And I actually mainly stole the title from him, or borrowed it, as we would say. Mysterious Stranger is one of 4 movements of a piece called Fleeting Moments, because they are short pieces. And the origin of the piece is that to celebrate the 40th anniversary of the Virginia Center for the Creative Arts, I was asked to write a piece that was short, that was commissioned, but also that I would have to play. And so I figured all my years of piano lessons would come into play, although I haven't played that much now. So here's The Mysterious Stranger.
Thank you. I too enjoy some Mark Twain. I mean, sometimes. I'd like to, how's everybody doing?
Good.
Yeah.
What is this? They'll turn off the leave.
Oh, we have a pianist who wants this piece, Faye. We have a pianist who's going to play this piece at our concert. You just made a connection.
Okay.
If you make some money, give it some, I get 50%. You said this fucking concert and shit, you know, it's fine. Listen, I thank you all for coming and for staying. Live feed, I see some people out there, they're commenting. I like your comments. Somebody called me a shredder, which was nice. Sorry about my plugging my own guitar, that was weird. That's weird. I'd like to introduce on stage a good friend of ours, Jay Rodriguez. And he's going to be joined by another good friend of mine, Steve Sandberg. Steve, are you going to play piano for us? So Jay plays saxophone. So Jay's piece, what is it called? Freedom? Something freedom.
Principles of freedom.
Principles of freedom.
I think I'm gonna play this thing for today.
Oh, what are you going to play? So Jay and I, we recorded stuff. He's a great sax player. And one of my pandemic dances that I've been recording, he wanted alto flute, and it was a great recording. I really like your alto flute.
Like, everybody here.
So Jay, I'm gonna do a little plug while you set up, because on December 8th we have a concert from Marcus Tavi's townhouse where we have a bunch of concerts, but this one's gonna be just live stream, and it's called Charts. So it's all about charts. Charts mean like Facebook where you have a melody and chord changes. So a bunch of us are gonna bring in our charts that you find, and it's called the 21st Century Fake Book, that's what I call it. And it's gonna be Daniel Schneider on saxophone, who you heard before, and Jay Rodriguez on saxophone. Our friend Max Pollock, Paul Nowinski is gonna be on bass, I'm gonna be on guitar, Mark's gonna be on piano, who else? I think that's it, right? I don't know. And music by a whole bunch of us, so this is December 8th. If you're around by your computer at home, probably quarantined by then. So this is Jay and Steve. Steve's gonna have a piece later on as well. Jay, do you want to say a couple of words about your piece?
Sure.
Do you want to say a poem? I want to hear a poem.
I know, I'm excited to hear my poem.
He's excited too.
I don't ever heard this. Yeah, hi, I'm Jay, and I was just thinking about the principles of humanity and understanding and the true principles of freedom, and so that I remember right before the pandemic and Floyd and all of these, and I just thought about my family, like all of us thought about life when all this, and here we are. But it has to do with that, with what is really freedom inside of us, as human beings. So the principles of humanity called in, and then I had a dream about it, and like all of art and the things that reflects life deeply, and that was it. And let me just get into it, and I'm playing alto flute. I know it says saxophone, but that's what it's really about. It's about life and about true freedom within ourselves, in the midst of chaos. But chaos can happen without a pandemic, and chaos can happen without anything. We could be completely alone, and what that means to be alone, and the love that we have to be alone. Because now all of a sudden we seek being alone. Sometimes some of us are like in the same house, and everybody's there as my son, and everybody, and we just want to be alone. Not because we don't love each other, but because we seek this place deep inside of us that exists in the paradox of life, where you just want to be free. So it's based on that. Anyway, so I'm gonna get into it. Principles of freedom.
between being bound to life in the underground, cavernous maze. For eternity, or of being cast out into the vastness of space. First, the earth would spin so fast, it would hurl me deep into the morning sky, until the horizon would just disappear into purple, blue, and red hues, until finally there would be nothing but darkness, and glimmers of yellow, red and blue, green and white light into the distance. Faithful breaths that I would no longer need for this journey into the vastness of the unknown. Deep, there's no oxygen out there. There's nothing there for me. The cavernous maze seemed and felt safe in my heart, just like the New York subways I was so used to in my childhood. As a 10-year-old, I would jump on the subway into the unknown. Never had any trouble. Me and my horn, playing my things, playing my things. Nobody could touch me, because I had a horn. Well, I was accustomed to its inevitable completions. So many dreams. It was dark. Deep inside, early in the mornings, the dews would settle, the rain would come down. Once in a while, the sun from above would peer through at points of departure, begging me to let go and surrender to the sky above and perhaps sometimes the sea below. You know what scared me the most? Really scared me the most. I feared it so much. I feared going above. Because the gravitational pull would not be strong enough to keep me earthbound. I so wanted to be earthbound. Besides, the longer I stayed, the lighter and more buoyant I was becoming. I guess it really didn't matter. I just needed to be free. Free, really free, man. Free. Immigrant free, black free, white free, brothers and sisters free. I did not want to lose whatever was left of my humanity. It will all be okay, I told myself quietly. So long as I keep my heart open and my relentless breaths peaceful.
about survival, nor about death, but about living eternally in conscious freedom. This was not about survival, nor about death, but about living, truly living, eternally in the consciousness of freedom. Freedom.
Rodriguez. He's going to remain here on stage for the next piece. We'd like to invite Alon Schulte, composer and pianist, to perform his work.
Yeah.
And folks, I just want to correct one thing. Gene was plugging our Charts concert that's coming up soon. It's actually, the date of the concert, of the Charts concert, is actually December 9th, a Wednesday. So we look forward to seeing you there. Here's Alon.
Thank you. This is based on a pretty good poet and a pretty good pianist and pretty good composer that's going to have his 100th birthday next Sunday, a week from today. I'll talk about Dave Brubeck, and his words are sights and sounds, exotic in their freshness, arouse our senses to a new awareness. The music we have prepared try to convey these minutes but lasting impressions, wherein the poet expresses the reader to feel the scene himself as an experience. So thank you for that. And just one more thing is next Sunday is birthday. I'm going to be performing with my quintet. Stay tuned and listen to us on Facebook, and there will be a whole music based on Dave Brubeck.
You know, this whole little marathon thing is about what composers write when they are writing for themselves. And we find that sometimes it's different. Now, we just had a concert, and it was for like congas. And you know, he wrote really cool music, but you know, it's not for piano, it's not for himself, so he just went crazy. Jay just wrote for a clarinet quartet, which he probably play all the clarinet parts.
I wish they, not as good as they did.
But not as good as they did, so you write differently. That's the whole thing. Before we go on, I just want to, just today, right before this concert hit, we had another concert in early November called We the People at Michiko Studios. Yeah. So we've been doing these like small concerts in smaller spaces. Today is great because it's in drum. And it was, you know, like in Michiko had a 10-person audience and a 10-person ensemble. But one of the 10-person audience happened to be a critic, which is weird. They never come out. But they did come out to this one, and it's the, what is it called? The New York jazz review. And I just want to, so the article just came out right before this concert, and I posted it. The reason I just want to bring it out was because everything I've been hearing, the reviewer started off with saying, actually kind of explaining what composing concordance do, and which is, just gonna read a really small thing. New York Music Institution of Concerts, Album Production, and multiple ensembles under a sweeping, tenacious brand, thriving on emulation of contemporary classical, free improv, jazz, and rock, overt humor, and fearless political statements. That's what's happening tonight. I don't know about the overt humor, I mean, I'm trying. Our next performer is Tanya Stareva. Am I saying that wrong?
You said it wrong.
Oh, I said it wrong. She's gonna correct me. But she's a pianist that we met very recently, and she's a great pianist, and we love her. And she has learned a piece of Charles and a piece of mine that she hasn't performed yet, but she's learned it. It's really fucking hard. That's why. It's cool. It messed up a lot of things. And now she just heard Faye Allen's piece and she liked it. And she wrote 2 pieces, and both are Shakespeare inspired. And she's gonna talk about it. And we love Tanya, and she's a composer, pianist. And here she is. Hi.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Gene. So, it was on December 3rd last year on my birthday. Was it last year? Yeah, it was last year, 2019. So he came on my birthday. I played a couple of original things because on my birthday I allow myself to be a little more adventurous and play whatever I want. And then he said, you know, I'm organizing that Composers Concordance Marathon where composers play composers. Maybe you can play some of your works. I was like, are you serious? These are serious people who, the way I play the piano for a living, that's what they do for composing. So for me, like listening to this amazing music, I'm like, what am I doing here? And it's really an honor. It's really amazing to be here. Thank you for having me. Now, it's kind of a long story how I started composing rhythmic movement. It was composed in 2012. It was also the name of my album, my debut album. And I played it at a lot of concerts. Now, the Cleopatra, I just finished working on yesterday. So I've never performed before, and I kind of kept postponing it because it's like, oh, we're gonna postpone. We postponed this concert like what 3-4 times, Gene, and I wasn't even sure if it was still happening, but it's happening. It's for real. So they're 2 short pieces. They're very similar in terms of rhythms. I think Cleopatra is gonna be a longer piece. I would call this an excerpt, and because of the similarity in rhythm, I felt that would be a good pair. Thank you.
What do you need?
I need my music, yeah, that will.
You don't have it memorized?
The Cleopatra, no, but the rhythm I have memorized. Yeah, but
Next on the program is one of Composers Concordance's associate directors. This is Seth Gusted on the piano. Come to the stage, Seth. Joined by Beth Holub on viola, who helps us out with PR. So everyone's in the house.
Director. What's her title? Director of PR.
I've just been promoted.
Okay, promotion is in the works. And Seth, your work is inspired by Kurt Vonnegut. Is that right? Tell us a little about your work. Thank you.
My piece is called Time Trips, and it's inspired by a late novel, maybe the last novel of Kurt Vonnegut, called Timequake. And I think this is just kind of a narrative device for him to take a lot of his favorite characters from previous novels and put them all into the same novel. But there's a quake in time, as it were. And so Billy Pilgrim and Kilgore Trout and all these wonderful Kurt Vonnegut characters are all in the same book. And so Time Trips is inspired by that idea and time feels especially fragmented, I think, these days. And the piece is really a series of vignettes. We're not going to play them all, but we're going to play some of them. So hope you enjoy. more pages and I don't know where they are. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I just have to find. We may not be able to play that thing yet. I'm sorry, guys.
Get back a little. We'll cut it out in the live stream.
I have them as separate. Ah, here they are. Here they are. I'm so sorry, everybody.
Is that written in the score?
I think we're going to go over 4 minutes. I'm sorry. Okay, let's just start with the 16th. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Which one is that? Oh, yeah. Okay, all right, ready? Go.
Seth, you're back. Seth and Beth. Wait, who messed up? Beth or Seth?
I messed up. I had my. These are supposed to come out.
This is why we do the compose they compose, because we do pick up our own pieces. I stepped on my own pedal and my sound went off, so things shit goes wrong. But that's why we write for people really difficult music and like just let them deal with it. And then when we're fucking in charge of it, it's a problem. But Beth is great, and she does all our press releases, and I love her. And Seth is our newest member. I think we have how many? 5 associate directors, 4 or 5, I forget. But anyway, Seth is our newest one. Maria, I just met a soprano named Maria. So she wrote a song. So Maria and our really good friend Jeff. Wait, did Jeffrey play over? Yeah, Jeffrey had a piece. You love Jeffrey's piece. He was amazing. And he has a wife, and she's amazing. And they're playing together her piece with poetry by you, I think, right? Yeah. So coming up, I'm talking, but you should be just walking. I'm talking, you walking. I'm taking the time. So Jeffrey's here. I like to call him Joffrey because I watched the Game of Thrones and it's spelled the same way. It just don't, but it's spelled I can't help. And Maria, her name. I was gonna try to figure out her last name and decided that I decided not to do it. She's gonna tell you, or she's not gonna. Are you gonna sing in the mass? Yeah. Are you serious? Yeah. All right. These guys are really great. They live together apparently, so they probably rehearse pretty well. Probably won't happen with stuff. So here, please tell us about your poem.
Hello. Yeah, so I'm giving this mask a shot. We'll see. Hopefully. Does it sound clear? It's okay. Let me just see. And is that better?
Much better.
You said no. All right, I'm gonna do it, and then I'll have to get sprayed down or something. I don't know. That's my neurosis. I'm not trying to blame anybody for anything, except that bad. Yeah. So the last name is Texas. That's what the last name is.
Oh yes, that's what it looks like.
Yeah, that's what it's exactly what it looks like. So, no, it's not like the state. I've never heard that one before. So I want to thank Composers Concordance and Drome, also everyone in Drome for curating, Composers Concordance for curating this, and Drome for giving us a safe, pretty much safe place to be able to make some music. So it's a treat to perform here for everybody, I mean with everybody, and for whomever else is here and out there. So here's some words. I did write the lyrics and the melody and the chords for this song. I did not write a piano part. That's not my, I was gonna try to play it myself also, I kind of play, but I don't play like he plays. So, and I didn't want to sing at the piano and sing onto the piano, so I didn't think that would be nice for this, at this time. I wrote the lyrics a year or so ago before the music. And the idea for the feel of this song was of a medieval ballad sung by a traveling storyteller. It's called Legacy, and in this case, I'm using the word legacy to refer to the way belief systems can lay claim to us. So it was interesting, Jay kind of opened, he mentioned the freedom idea, and this is also what this is about, very personal freedom. The journey that is in the words sounds like it's on the outside world, but it's really on the inside world, our interiors. These kinds of belief systems that lay claim to us, and how many things we're taught as children that can become yokes around our necks. And even as we rebel, these belief systems are still holding sway over us. They can be a set of conditions in which we've invested our whole selves and which we later grow to despise. But in both cases, they consistently claim the central place in our lives and are the driving force behind most, if not all, of our actions and thoughts and our suffering. And so whether in obedience or rebellion, we remain boxed in by this legacy. The traveler in the song, beleaguered as she is in the process of realizing all of this and is resolved to continue to pursue true freedom, that is the freedom from the allure of the legacy. She's not there yet. She doesn't know how long she has to go, but she's not giving up. Just a minute.
Embroidery so skillfully stitched, they prickled her skin paw by paw. Her ribcage entwined in the lattice of lies, told with love, no malice intended. What legacy exacts its price by life, for its order must not be amended. Propped up by the mire, she slugs on ahead to shores lie far in the distance, hoping to stand on her own ground instead of naming this monk for assistance. Oh child, sweet child, the best is to call. We are who you are, please remember. Else you will be naught but a ne'er do well, whose soul fire is barely an ember. Her words swirl about where the mud pulls her down. She tastes the dirt of her transgressions, when all that she wished was to warrant a crown by earnestly heeding tradition. For in spite of her
the review I was talking about, Jeffrey played at that concert, and his piece got a really great review because he's a great composer and an amazing pianist. So my favorite, Laura's over there at St. John with us, and our favorite pianist is Matt Hershkowitz, who we work with a lot, who could play jazz, classical, sight read, anything. And I was telling Laura, Jeffrey may be our new guy who lives in New York, because Matt lives in Montreal. This motherfucker could play jazz, could play whatever, classical, anything you read, and I think he could sight read anything as well. So I'm gonna introduce you guys later. We're gonna move on right now to one of my favorite people in the world. His name is Marcus Tavi, who made his name as an artist, and the art that you're seeing here, that's Mark. And actually, we use a lot of Mark art in our promotions, etc. And he's gonna do a piece that actually has lyrics. It's called Rabbit Skin Glue, and he was gonna have a soprano sing with him, but she didn't do it, so he's gonna play it as a solo piano piece. But before Mark comes up, I just wanna say, Mark just had a milestone birthday. But another one of our friends, Seth, I don't know, not a milestone, but just a birthday. Seth,
Regular old birthday.
Regular old birthday. But two people that we know had a birthday. So can we do a Mark and Seth happy birthday song, everybody? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mark and Seth. Double birthday. Happy birthday to you. Mark turned 90. He really just amazing. And Mark's gonna come up and talk about you wrote your own lyrics. It's your own poetry to Rabbit Skin Glue, right? So you're gonna talk about it a little bit. You wanna talk here? All right.
Gene, I had a whole speech prepared, but you just ripped off all the lines. You just revealed everything.
Sorry, I apologize.
About the soprano, the birth, I had it all planned out.
Well, you can repeat it again.
Okay, well, Dave Brubeck is about to turn 100.
Really? He's dead.
2 days ago, I turned 60, Friday.
All right.
And I moved to 1982, I moved to New York in 1982, and I've been going to Composers Concordance concerts since the 80s.
Before Gene and...
While Gene was not even in Manhattan School of Music yet.
I was a little baby.
You were probably in high school. And I would go to the Barrow School and see the queen of the cluster, Kathy Sapovi, who's still one of my favorite people. And so I go way back with Composers Concordance. I also went to a lot of art shows, and I know guys who bought lofts in the 70s for like $5,000, and they still lived in them. So the soprano, my vocalist, mysteriously disappeared like the Utah monolith. For those of you who know, it actually disappeared now. And she was going to sing the lyrics I wrote for this composition called Rabbit Skin Glue, which is a kind of old-fashioned art supply that only a few die-hard figurative painters use to this day. I've used it too. And I'll just read a few lines from the lyrics before I present the instrumental version. I wish I knew why I'm old-fashioned. I wish I knew why I use oil. I wish I could make installations, but that would make my true blood boil. I am lost now. I'm a mental case. There's a cost now for a Soho space. There's blood all over the keyboard.
Oh, is there really?
It wasn't there before.
Who is it? Jeffrey.
Well, looks like blood. It's all for art. I know it's Burleson's blood. But it wasn't there during the sound check. So maybe we should have it wiped down after me. I'll get poisoned and then the next person will be sick.
it, look, I listened to the words before. Getting kind of drunk. Who's next? Oh, we got Steve Sandberg. We heard Steve play on somebody else's track. But Steve and Jay are coming up, and they have a piece. Well, Steve has a piece. And Steve, I met Steve long ago. He just doesn't remember it. We did a project together. And he was like, oh, that was you? He really doesn't remember it. But Steve's known, he doesn't want me to tell you, but well, he's known for this. If you guys have kids, and your kids watch Dora the Explorer, Steve did all the music for that. So tonight he's gonna play all the music from Dora the Explorer. I play. And then Steve did a thing which was great, which was like, fuck Dora the Explorer, I'm gonna like quit and do my own shit, which I respect a lot.
That's right.
Because I do a lot of Hollywood and whatever stuff, but like people can't make, there's not enough money to do shit that I don't want to do. I only do stuff I like to do, which is true. And I think that's what, me and you have in common. So Jay and Steve coming up. Steve, talk about your piece a little bit. And, oh yeah, can we have a little spray on the mics and the...
Clean off the keyboard too. There's blood on the keyboard.
It's not blood.
It's not blood? No. It wasn't there.
It's not blood.
It's what do you call it?
But it's a nice piano.
It's a nice piano. And not blood. What was that?
That red stuff.
What red stuff? When you eat beets, it's beets. Do you guys ever watch this Portlandia, where everybody's calling in about blood, and it's always like, "Have you eaten beets?" Oh yeah, it's beets. It's everything's beets. I'm like, oh my god, I just went to the bathroom and saw blood. Did you eat beets today? Yeah. And the whole skit is about beets. It's very funny. Sorry. Oh boy.
Nice going, G.
Charles, can you sing us a cappella song while the piano's being cleaned? Nah, says Charles. Thank you everybody for sticking around in the club and drinking and hanging, and it almost feels like old times when we had people here and nobody, it wasn't gonna close and we had to go home and all that stuff.
It's nice to be out of the house.
It's just nice to be out of the house, exactly. By the way, this mask that I'm not wearing, but I am wearing sometimes.
Who designed it?
So my wife designed these masks, and I mean, actually, I find them quite comfortable. So she has a whole essay site called Kim's and Temple Designs. It's all macrame. And I find them comfortable, but not, I mean, people, I don't know, people buy the cheap masks, whatever. But for every time I do a concert, I wear with them because they're kind of fancy and look fun. But the truth is, because of the ties, it's easy to play in them, because the other masks, like the regular masks, like kind of go up to mine. I don't know. They're always like doing weird things while I'm playing. I'm sorry, Steve. I'm talking too much, and you guys you're not ready to play. What's happening? What's going on?
Okay, I think we're ready.
You ready?
Yes.
Are you gonna play the piano?
Yes.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you, Steve.
Okay. Thank you for that
Steve
wonderful introduction.
and Jay, overly long introduction.
I'm not going to say much about this. This is a poem that I wrote many years ago called The Mother of Dreams, based on a real dream that I had. And I just want to say that the great singer Theo Bleckman once said, either don't rehearse or rehearse 1,000 times. So we have not rehearsed. We've never played this together. We'll see what happens.
That's a good quote. I like that. I always break that quote. Mark notes. I love
She said, I respect you, but you got a demon on your back you don't even know. But I know this guy down in Chinatown who can help you. Who can help you? Who can help you? She said, it's time for show and tell. Well, the zookeeper brought out this thing. At first I thought it was a snake. It was beautiful. Its back the color of Pueblo earth and wine red sky. But it had vampire teeth and 4 stunted little legs, and it could fly like a dragon. She said, when you get scared, it gets scared. When you settle down, it gets quiet. It can help you. It can help you. It can help you. She said, I can tell your fortune now, but I'm not playing. You gotta meet me more than halfway. Take your mind off that crap. And look up. Afterwards, the boy lie cradled in his lover's arms. His daddy said, I don't buy it, but I know you are a healer. I can help you. I can help you. I can help you.
Thank you. Next up we have David Saperstein. David, why don't you come up? You're going to perform one of your piano compositions. Now folks, because of the pandemic, we can't do the regular handshakes, and of course everyone is doing that sort of elbow rub, right? Rubbing elbows with the cognoscenti over here. And I noticed earlier, why don't you come up, David? So they can see in the spotlight, because I realized David was particularly prepared for this. Look at those elbow pads, folks. Okay, David, why don't you tell us about your piece?
Okay, so the piece is inspired by the play Romeo and Juliet by William Shakespeare. And so in the first act, Act 1, Scene 1, this little phrase, star-crossed lovers, appears, and that inspired this piece. If you want me to say more? Okay, and what do I love about Shakespeare? Why does it inspire me and so many other people? I think it's these little phrases that you hear. For instance, if you went to one of our previous concerts, we had a piece where I think it was composed by J. Elfenbein, and it was called A Pox on Both Your Houses, and that also is from Romeo and Juliet. And another Shakespeare phrase, a rose by any other name would smell as sweet. So this is what I love about Shakespeare, why I think his legacy is, 450 or so years, we've loved some of his plays, and they've inspired us in movies and many other operas and so forth. So, any other questions? Should I
Do it.
do it? All right, do the piece. Here it is. Star-crossed lovers.
Saperstein. I think that was Shakespeare calling in the end. He's like, David, I like that piece. I'm dead, but I like the piece, whatever. Thank you, David. David is a great friend of Composed Concordance, and we always love, we never know what we're gonna get from David. Sometimes it's these really pieces that have like, kind of like atonal and a lot of space, or really tonal pieces that like sound like Copeland or you know, and but it's always we know it's gonna be always a surprise, and we love it.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, David, for doing Yeah, baby. We're almost done. This is amazing. This is like a shortest play comp. Don't call me. I didn't call you up yet, motherfucker. Shit, we're still talking. Man.
And I have a question for Charles Coleman.
What?
Was Shakespeare's telephone call in key?
What?
Oh yeah. Was the ringing in key or was it a little off?
It was a Charles Ives kind of
It was a Charles Ives type of things, which we love. So before we go to the next piece, first our friend Laura St. John, who's here, and you know she got a lot of love on Facebook, but I think it's different since we have this concert here with real people and you know people like actually saying things and you feel it. So she didn't get knighted. That's a English thing, but she's from Canada, so she got the Order of Canada.
Yeah.
Whatever that means, but it's kind of like getting knighted. But nobody like. Does anybody do the sword thing in your head?
In your head. In my head.
In your head, like the sword thing, like oh.
Sometime next year.
Next year they're gonna do the sword thing. Oh, that's cool. So and we don't call you Dame or anybody. I want to call you Dame Laura.
I think it's your mapleness.
Your who? Napleness?
Maple syrup.
Oh, maple, like.
Maple
That's
leaf.
kind of
And I
cool.
want to see a curtsy. Maple.
Oh, I'm gonna curtsy from now on every time. I've known Laura since the 90s. I've never curtsied to her. From now on, I'm curtsying. That's what's gonna happen. Our very great friend, composer that we play a lot. And are you on the board? You're not even on the board.
Not officially, but
What are you? Well, he conducts a lot of our concerts. So you're like almost the official conductor.
Yeah.
Baritone and composer. And Charles, I've known Charles since we met him at High School of Music, and he sang 99% of my operas. I think he didn't sing one of my operas.
Yeah.
That's true?
The first one that
Yeah.
we ever met at.
Exactly. So, and he's got great perfect pitch, and he's a composer, and you can just write these lines for him, and you know, it's just like writing for bassoon or something. So, but he wrote a piece, and he wrote we have a friend, Robert Ford, who we talked about before, who commissioned this painting by Marcus Tavi, and he's a poet. We call him the Wall Street poet because first he was at Wall Street, and then he was a poet. And we're actually doing a whole album of music that Charles and I and other people wrote on his poetry that we've been performing. And since the pandemic hit, we had this concert, we had a bunch of concerts, salon concerts, short concerts, and Robert would always write a poem, and I would write a piece, and sometimes Charles would write a piece. And I think, is this the piece that both you and I wrote?
Yeah, I think so.
So we had an experiment where Charles and I took one poem, and on one concert we had the same poem, but different composers. I wrote it for guitar and baritone, and he wrote it for piano and baritone, and Seth, I think, played it at the concert, which was really interesting. So the same lyrics, but two different composers, and it's very different. So we decided tonight to play this poem, and Charles and Seth have premiered it, so it's not a premiere, but come and play this poem. It's called The Music Between Us, which is a beautiful poem. Thank you, Robert. Robert's here, so Robert's right back there. You gotta get some love. Give Robert some love. Me and him are about to do a like really sexual heavy metal rock poem. That's gonna be
direction.
Yeah, he even already made a album cover with Mark's art, which we haven't shown Mark yet, I think. But he's gonna be part of it. Mark doesn't know. I'm gonna tell him later. But what is that called? 9 months before.
9 months before, yes.
Very cool poem, very sexual, very fucked up. This one is not as sexual, not as fucked up, but very beautiful. And I love Charles' setting. It reminds me of Miley Cyrus.
All right.
Miley Cyrus?
I'm playing. It does.
Just a testament to what Gene's been talking about. Robert
all this year during this hard year that we've had has been utilizing the hardship by making great poetry out of it, as all of you have been doing. I've worked with all of you at some time or another, and you've been utilizing it in your wonderful work in the arts, as opposed to those that decide to post social network posts of doom-laden stuff. We are the real people make art of hardship, and that's what all of you are.
Beautiful.
Well said, Charles.
Sickness and anxiety, harmonious arrangements of people and sound. Now fearfully distant and eerily silent, scores unscored, curtain calls uncalled, here and now no more, only then and there, Om Mani Padme Hum. Modern mankind does not spend enough time in darkness, only when confronted by death we feel most real. Silence is the most profound sound. Turn up cages 433. Idiocy and genius converge. The big band came from nothing. To mask or not to mask, no trumpet makes an orchestra. I prefer to die in an embrace than drink champagne alone. only I ran the zoo.
Charles Silverman and Seth Gusted. Beautiful. Thank you. So, I forgot to say that we're actually recording a whole album of Robert Ford poetry, because I've said a whole bunch of his music, and Charles said a whole bunch of his music, and some other people, and we decided we're going to do a whole album, and this piece will be on it. And Jeffrey Burleson is recording all the piano parts. Are you recording all the piano parts? It's a rumor. So the next piece is by Dan Cooper. We're going to end with Dan Cooper.
Hello, yes, thank you for sticking around for the 18th and final piece on the program. And I thought it would be fun to end with a little bit of levity. Is that okay? I'm putting my hand up to my ear like this because this piece is going to involve some audience participation, okay? Now, we are a limited audience, and we're a distanced audience and a compliant audience, but I want to make sure through a little warm-up exercise that we are a boisterous New York audience, okay? So if you're stuck around for the 18th and final piece on the Composers Play Composers Marathon, let me hear you say, yeah! Yeah! That was pretty good, it's pretty good. Like my English professor used to say, breathe from the diaphragm, put some air behind it. So, if in spite of everything that's been going on with the pandemic and all the difficulties we've been facing, if you've been having a fun time here at the marathon, let me hear you say, yeah! Yeah! Okay, so this piece is entitled F-Words. And in addition to some less than covert comedy and some poetry which was not written by William Butler Yeats, okay? This is going to feature Maria Texas, the recitation, and Jeff Burleson on the piano, and I'm going to attempt to play the percussion. So I hope you enjoy.
Kick it!
Wine is kicking in. Oh dear. That's not good for that one section. All right. Making sure my okay. So just help me out on that audience thing, okay? I get like back and forth. I point at you and I do my thing, but it's not how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to do your thing. I just practiced it and I practiced it all backwards. I kind of know. I don't know.
end of the fucking. Oh, you guys are leaving. I was gonna spit some shit. Fine.
Jane Pritzker, everyone.
Dan Cooper, everyone. Thank you for coming out. I think we have till 9:30 before they kick us out, so have some drinks with us and chill. And on the December 9th, we have a live stream concert from a Kasabi house called Kasabi World called Charts, which will feature Daniel Schneider, Jay Rodriguez, myself on guitar, and two cats who are out here. Paul Nowinski, who was the bass player for Les Paul for the last, he played with Les Paul for a while.
7 years.
For 7 years. And our great friend Matt, who's our dance director, great tap dancer and percussionist, Max Pollock, on the drums, and it's gonna be a hip concert. But we're gonna follow the rules of 10 people, in a private concert. So it's gonna be like a 6-person ensemble with James filming it. Thanks to James Lane, who's our video guy, video director, right? Video director. He did a beautiful live stream today. So he's gonna live stream it, and he'll be there on the 9th to live stream it. And thank you guys all for coming out. Please hang out and chill with us. And thank you, Drone. You're the man, always the man, the greatest sound guy. We always love him. And great. Thank you for coming out. We love you. We're gonna keep getting drunk. I guess I'm drunk.
Great. Yeah, that's fun. I had one beat in my ear and the other one. Great beat. Love it.
We're like basically, except for Mark and I in January have a couple of months, we really haven't planned anything because we don't know what's happening. So we will amazing. I looked it up. It's good. No, of course. They need to know that we probably cannot get. So they need to have a it's not good to get
we do the group filming Friday at 5 p.m. So just double check. So we originally in Octavia, we agreed with Friday. I didn't remember the exact time. So it's supposed to be like a night shot. But this is the